Well, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, and it's the 16th of February. We are moving right along through February, and if we can make it through this week, I think next week is supposed to be like 40 on Tuesday. So, hey, that will be a big, big change. So, I think we got down to minus 24 this morning. So, that's a 60-degree swing. That's pretty good within a week. Wow. Today is also Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday. And it's also, as I was just telling Clint, it's Pancake Day. And if there's ever a day that we ought to be able to get behind, it ought to be National Pancake Day. So go out and celebrate by having some pancakes, y'all. Today we are continuing on in the story in the 23rd chapter of Luke. We're going to look at verses 6 to 12. We just left Jesus with Pilate, and he's about to leave Pilate. We'll start off with Pilate right away this morning, but then we move to Herod. So to back up a little bit and what we talked about yesterday, and I didn't listen to my message from yesterday. I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but here we had all the scribes and the priests kept throwing these accusations at Jesus, trying to see what would stick. And it's kind of a reversal of what we do, isn't it? When we look through Scripture and we see something that convicts us, we tend to want to throw everything we can at the wall to try to rationalize or excuse away our sin, and we just keep pitching it at it, trying to deny that it's all about us and it's our fault, and instead of trying to own up to it, we just keep throwing stuff at it, hoping something will stick that'll excuse us for our ill behavior. So with that, let's jump into and move forward from there and move into verses 6 to 12 in the 23rd chapter. When Pilate heard this, he asked whether the man was a Galilean. And when he learned that he was under Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him off to Herod, who was himself in Jerusalem at that time. When Herod saw Jesus, he was very glad, for he had been wanting to see him for a long time, because he had heard about him and was hoping to see him perform some sign. He questioned him at some length, but Jesus gave him no answer. The chief priests and the scribes stood by, vehemently accusing him. Even Herod with his soldiers treated him with contempt and mocked him. Then they put an elegant robe on him and sent him back to Pilate. That same day, Herod and Pilate became friends with each other. Before that, they had been enemies. That last part's an interesting thing, and they speculate that part of it was that Herod felt a little bit of jealousy that Pilate had overstepped his bounds on doing some things in Galilee, because that's where Herod ruled. Now, Pilate had every right as the governor of Judea to control all of it. But you had the governors of the different regions, kind of like nation and states, although it's not quite that, because Rome was the nation. So more like counties, I guess. At any rate, so Herod felt a little bit of animosity towards Pilate, apparently, for him overstepping. So the fact that Pilate kind of deferred to Herod's judgment on Jesus was kind of buttering him up. It was an olive branch, if you will, or just a little bit of a sign that he respected Herod's jurisdiction. So that is what's thought happened there. But anyway, we're told there that Herod and Pilate became friends after that. Weird way to start a friendship, isn't it? But at any rate, Herod is all excited. Of course, remember, Herod's the one that beheaded John the Baptist, right? So Jesus couldn't be terribly excited about being sent to go see Herod. I go, I don't know. It's out of the frying pan and into the fire kind of a thing. But Jesus, of course, is resolute to what's going on, and he knows what's going to happen. So he doesn't even answer Herod. Herod's asking all these questions, all these accusations by the scribes and the priests, and apparently Jesus says nothing in Herod's court. Doesn't answer him. Herod's a little bit bummed. probably a little miffed, because he wanted to see Jesus because he wanted to see Jesus do some signs. He wanted to see Jesus perform some miracles. He wanted Jesus to perform for him. He wanted to show. Let's put it that way. And Jesus wasn't. That's not what Jesus is about. He's not here to entertain us. He's not some vaudeville show. He's not some David Copperfield or whoever, Chris Angel or whichever the current magicians are. He's not up there to do an illusion for us. He's about doing actual miracles, about taking care of people and for a purpose, not about showing some earthly ruler what's going on. I mean, this is not what Jesus is about. So Jesus does not do a miracle, doesn't do anything. He just sits there and his mum's word, as they say. So they proceed to, because he won't comply to their wishes, they mock him and they torment him. And sometimes I wonder if, can we draw a parallel there to many of us and many others out many others out there. We want God to do a certain thing for us. Give me $1 million. I can remember when I was a little boy and I first, read or heard in Sunday school about, whatever you say in prayer, God will do, and all of that. And I went home and I think I got a picture of a horse out of a magazine, or I had a magazine with a picture of a horse. And I put that down on the floor in the bedroom and sat there and prayed for a horse, because at that point, as a young boy, we had one or two kid horses that I had to share with my brothers and sisters, for crying out loud. And so I wanted my own horse, and so I'm sitting there praying for that. Look around, no horse. That's not what God does, is that he doesn't perform. He doesn't do sideshows. So a lot of times I think we're wanting God to perform for us, to do something for us that God may realize is not necessarily in our best interest. Or it may be that what we're asking for is something that will come down the road. Eventually I did get a horse. Who knows? So we put ourselves, and then because we don't get what we want, then we mock God and we disbelieve God and we turn on God, kind of like what Herod did here. Not that Herod was ever in on God's or Jesus' side. He definitely mocks him and has contempt for him because he's not doing what he wants him to do. And I think there's a lot of us that do that. We want something out of God, and God doesn't comply immediately, and we're getting very short on our attention span, and we're demanding things right now. And so let's be careful we don't do that. Let's not become a Herod-like figure in that regard anyway. So that's what I've got for you today. Tomorrow Jesus is going to go back to Pilate, and we've got an interesting exchange that goes on tomorrow. One of the things I talk about quite a bit. So we'll deal with that tomorrow, though. Tomorrow's another day. Don't forget, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, and we do have Ash Wednesday service at 7 o'clock in the sanctuary. Come in through the main sanctuary doors, please, and come up and see us. All right, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And if you can't make it, we'll be live streaming it. All right, God bless, and have a very blessed day, and please be a blessing to someone today. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.